days, Republicans will gavel into their 2010 convention, and at this point there are more questions than answers. The party has 3 and actually potentially 4 candidates for governor, roughly half a dozen people vying for the U.S. Senate races, 2 candidates for AG, and actually 1 guy running for the state controller, so they can all agree on that. But the bottom line at this point is they appear to be in a state of complete disarray, or at least uncertain of which direction the party should go. And that is why we wanted to talk to my next guest. Tom Reynolds is a veteran of the New York Republican Party. He served in the Assembly and in Congress, and he is joining me this evening from Rochester to talk about the state of the Republican Party. How are you, Congressman?
Liz, I'm doing great.
So, what's going on with your party? You saw, let's start actually with Rick Lazio and with Greg Edwards. You've met Greg Edwards. You saw a piece of that interview, I believe. Do you think this was a good pick for Lazio going forward?
Well, first of all, any governor candidate needs to pick a reliable, steady lieutenant governor that they have confidence in, that, first of all, can do the job in the event the lieutenant governor is called upon to be governor, and second, has a compatibility in order to travel the 62 counties of the state. And I think Greg Edwards holds that potential, and I think Rick Lazio made his decision, and it's a decent selection of both Lazio and Edwards of their strengths as they get ready to go down to a convention and hope to secure a nomination.
Are you buying this argument that they're making, which is bland is good, that people are tired of scandal and maybe flash is something that isn't where people should be focused, that steady, as you just mentioned, steady is better than flashy?
Well, my good friend and former seatmate George Pataki was not noted to be a great orator, and he was not noted to be a flashy guy, but he was a 3-term governor as a Republican in this state. And my home county of Erie, Buffalo, New York, he carried it 3 times, which is unheard of. The last guy that carried it twice was Thomas Dewey, and Nelson Rockefeller only won it once in his first term in 1958. So I think that Lazio has a fair claim that he's looking to bring a steady, mature presentation to what he stands for. And so I think that's reasonable. And I listened to that interview where we talked about Lazio's executive experience. And while he cited the business side, I look at the string of governors, whether it be George Pataki, which had a mayor's experience in Peekskill. Other than that, it was an assemblyman and as a senator. Hugh Carey, who was a Brooklyn congressman. And Mario Cuomo, while lieutenant governor, had a number of different positions that he held. And when you look at lieutenant governors, one of the most experienced cited in the 20th century was Malcolm Wilson, who was both an assemblyman, I think, in longstanding before he became he certainly was a legislative player before he became lieutenant governor.
Tom, have you actually endorsed anyone, just before we go forward, have you endorsed a gubernatorial candidate, and do you have a favorite at this point?
No, I've actually had good fortune. I served with Rick Lazio. I supported him when he ran for the U.S. Senate in 2000. He's a good friend of mine. Carl Palladino, I've known for 30 years as a businessman in Buffalo, and I would tell you, because I am a Erie County resident, which Buffalo is part of, Western New York, particularly Erie County, is very fond of Carl Palladino. Will come to this convention supporting him. I don't know County Executive Levy, nor did I serve with him in the Assembly, but he certainly has demonstrated his electability in Suffolk County.
What do you make of all this, though? I mean, now we're talking about there's a 4th guy. I don't know if you're familiar with M. Myers Mermel, but he was going to run for lieutenant governor. Now there's reports that maybe, according to Ed Cox, he's going to jump into the governor's race. A 4-way governor's primary? When have we ever heard of such a thing? And this is supposed to be a big Republican year.
You have to look at the people that want to be versus people that end up being a candidate. There's 2 ways that you get to be a candidate. Either one, you secure 25% of the delegate support to put you on the ballot, and the Democrats have 6 or 7 candidates running for Attorney General. Not all of those, certainly expressed by Democratic leaders, have said that they will all get onto the ballot. So they will have to do some arrangements of what people get on the ballot and what ones don't. Then it'll be a decision for Attorney General on the Democratic side, with 6 or 7 running, who wants to do the petition route, which was relaxed since 2000, in the year that George Bush and John McCain ran, and the court suits brought about legislative changes that relaxed the petition process in New York. And so when I look now at the Republican side, we have a lot of wannabes, I guess, maybe 4 that want to be the nominee for the Republican Party. We know that Mr. Lazio has demonstrated that he has over 50% of delegate support, which likely gets him onto the ballot.
Well, maybe, though. We don't actually know that. Because as you're probably too well aware, these conventions can be very contentious. There's no requirement.
I counted votes when I was the leader in the Assembly. I counted votes as the deputy whip in the House of Representatives and part of the elected leadership.
Okay, so there you go.
I counted votes when I was county chairman in Erie County.
There you go.
I believe that Rick Lazio will. Hold on a second. I believe that Rick Lazio will have 25% that guarantees him a nomination of at least one of the candidates. We both know, and the public should know, that for Mr. Levy, he is looking to have to secure by state law. This is not by party rules. By state law, he needs to secure 50% in order to secure a Wilson Pakula, which is the mechanism to have someone not registered in the party to be on the ballot.
Right.
Now, other candidates, including Carl Palladino, will he get 25%? Certainly remains to be seen. If the new gentleman who is running for lieutenant governor, who is a wealthy businessman, is able to garner 25%, he also could be a prospect. But it's likely that not all of those candidates will get 25%, which means they would have to go to the petition route and secure signatures in congressional seats across the state.
Okay, but Tom, historically, the Republican Party, not always, of course, not in 1994, there was also a number of candidates interested, and actually John Faso ended up stepping aside.
There were 2 candidates, Liz. They were George Pataki and they were Herb London.
Right.
And I was one of 4 or 5 key players in counting those votes when we were able to keep Herb London from getting the necessary 25% to be a candidate nominated for the primary in New York, which then ultimately, in cooperation of the Republicans and Conservative Party, we nominated him for comptroller as John Faso stepped aside.
Right.
And so we have not seen this type of activity, and all I can say is that Ed Cox, as our state chair, has wanted to demonstrate party activism and has helped generate these types of activities. And while he favors what apparently is County Executive Levy, he has certainly brought forth the fact that there is now activity of at least 4 candidates, as you cite. I certainly knew of 3 that want the nomination.
Okay, but is activity, when is